Butch and Bob Show.
World famous Butch and Bob Show right here on WIFO 105.5 FM in Jesup, Big Dog Country Radio. Morning, Bob.
Good morning.
Go Dogs!
Go Dogs. Big win.
Man,
big win.
Was that good or what?
That was good.
That good.
Had to fight the officials and the Texas Longhorns. But
They're getting some home cooking there in Texas?
Kirby said they're trying to rob us. I believe it. You can't ever turn that call. I mean, what are they doing? First of all, they should have penalized Texas for throwing all that trash on the field. They should have been penalized. But you can't change the call. I mean, it's in the rule book. Once you make a pass interference call, you have to hit stay. You can't change it. So it was just sad to watch.
And
glad we won. But Kirby had them ready to play for it.
He did have them ready to play. It was good to see that. The 130-15. Tennessee got some home cooking. If you watched that game, there was some calls there that should have gone against Tennessee, but didn't. I mean, just flagrant offsides, flagrant pass interference. So Tennessee got some little home cooking there.
Alabama down to 15th.
Down to 15th. They're moaning and groaning, gnashing of teeth there.
They got for sale signs in the boys' yard already.
He gets back from Knoxville and there's a for sale sign in his front yard.
That poor man's in there. What's the old saying? Don't ever replace a legend.
You're right. Don't follow the man. Follow the man that follows the man.
Exactly.
You want to follow the man that follows the man.
He didn't learn that yet.
Yeah, well, look what happened to our coach that followed Vince Dooley. He was troubled.
I mean, he's just getting crushed, and they're struggling. So it's just surprising, but they still got a few more tough games to go. So
yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they pick it up from here. But the two games they lost were to good teams. It wasn't like except for Vanderbilt. They lost to Vanderbilt. That was the problem right there. Is they lost to Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt's on fire. They've won.
They are, aren't they?
They're ranked in the top 25 for the first time in over a decade.
Yes, sir.
Georgia Southern, a big win. I said it was a big win.
Georgia Southern win, and they're going to play Thursday night this week. Yeah. Georgia Southern's playing Thursday night against Old Dominion. They'll be where's Old Dominion? Is that Virginia?
I think so.
In Virginia. So they'll be taking on Old Dominion at 7 o'clock on Thursday night. But Georgia Southern's won two great games over Marshall and then last weekend against James Madison. And, of course, you can hear the Georgia Southern games right here on 105.5 FM. We are your Georgia Southern Eagle football radio station for Southeast Georgia. Well, we can get back to football, Bob, but right now we got some guests in here this morning to talk about an important subject. What's going on, Bob?
Was getting close to Halloween, and the annual Halloween parade is right around the corner. So we got the two ladies here that organize it every year in downtown Jesup. Ed and Ruth Williamson and Miss Lyons, appreciate y'all coming in. And first of all, what day is the Halloween parade? Is it Halloween Day? Halloween Day. Okay.
On Halloween.
On Halloween, the 31st,
that Thursday. Okay.
on a Thursday.
Thursday.
It's always on Halloween unless Halloween falls on a Sunday.
Right.
Gotcha.
And then we have it on Saturday.
What time does it start downtown?
We start the lineup at 4:30 behind Jesup Insurance Agency on the corner of Macon and Cherry.
I gotcha.
And it actually kicks off at 5.
Now, this is a great event for kids if you want to come and get a lot of candy. And
possibly
win prizes.
Candy. I cleaned out Sam's last week of the candy. They said, "Are you having you must have a lot of trick or treaters?" I said, "Oh, you'll never know. A whole city full.
Whole city comes by."
That's great.
But
there's prizes for different costumes.
We do. We have. I'll let Charlotte share that with you.
Okay.
Yeah, this is always a lot of fun. Several categories: scariest, the most original to Halloween, the cutest, and there are some really cute ones. And then we have a family category where we have several in the family that all dress together, and that's always fun. And then an adult. I know, you'd be surprised the number of adults who still like to dress up, including moi.
We all.
It's been a long time since I've dressed up, but I did it through during my 20s and 30s and stuff like that, and while we went to Halloween parties at the time.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of fun. We have judges for these different categories, and the kids start coming in close to 4 o'clock, and they get a number. And they kind of walk around and see who else is there and what their costume is. And then right at 4:30, the police car will lead us down Cherry Street. And this is really different from other parades in the fact that our parades go down the middle of the street, and we don't have the people on the sides of the street. Those are the parents and grandparents and spectators that come. So if you want to be judged and be in the parade, you need to meet up behind the old bank, get a number, and that's how we judge. So we had a great crowd last year. We're looking for even more this year.
Yeah.
Okay, and it'll be at Jesup Insurance. Ralph opened up his parking lot and his
He does.
facility there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ralph.
Uh-huh.
His
And,
employees want to know why we don't do it more often because they get to leave early that day. But it's just good fun for the kids.
Yeah.
Kicks off Halloween when they leave there. Then they can go and start their trick or treating.
Right, go to
And-
different neighborhoods. A lot of churches have events. So it's
Right,
always-
and as
Yes.
Charlotte said, we have had some families. Cara Lopez with DDA, she and her family have been in the Halloween parade since she had her first child.
Okay.
And this will be our 51st year of doing this.
Right.
51st.
51st.
51st year.
I was
Wow.
just a young thing when we started.
Yeah, I mean, we were just children.
Just children, y'all.
Yeah.
Y'all just stepped forward as teenagers and said, "We'll run it."
Is there an age limit for what's the age?
Oh, no.
There's no age limit.
No age
No
From
age
tiny
limit.
babies to old folks.
Okay, so anybody
Yeah.
can come have a good time. And it's
Yeah.
Halloween Day.
Right, and we
Thursday.
give books away
Mm-hmm.
and safety tips, and, it's just good.
And lots of candy.
Lots of candy.
Lots and lots of candy.
Yeah,
Yeah, if you
we
want
are not
candy, that's
responsible
right.
for any cavities that are.
There you go.
You know.
Well, you just got through train day. How'd train day go?
Train day went really well. We had lots of children. They got to ride the train, and Andy, the engineer, was there. And honey, some of those kids, the questions they ask, I'm going, "How old are you?" You know. But they had. Some gentlemen had come with their model train sets, big cities and all with trains. And they had the Thomas the Trains that the kids could play with, and they had little activities they could do, and lots of vendors were there with some really nice things. It was good. It was good.
This text message right here verifies what y'all just say about how long you've been running this parade for Halloween. Edna, you and Charlotte. Here's someone text in. You can always text in comments to 912-427-3711. Our regular business line is text enabled. Someone text in, "I love hearing these ladies. I participated in this 40 years ago." That's with a zero. 40 years ago. And these same ladies are leading this. Love it.
And it's hard to believe Charlotte and I are just so young. It's hard to believe
Y'all
we've
just
been
started
doing it
off
50
as
years.
teenagers.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Well, with Halloween being my birthday, it's really special to me. So I get my.
So
new
you're a
birthday.
Halloween baby?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
You
I got
couldn't
my
tell?
That's why I get away with so much. They'd say, "Well, look when her birthday is."
Yeah.
But I get my new broom. Spec gives me a new broom every year and tells me I can ride it or I can use it. And it's fun. It's fun.
good.
We have a good time.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about.
Oh yeah, and the kids love it. Like I said, a lot of candy's
They
going to
do.
be there, and electric prizes to give out. So appreciate y'all coming in, promoting it again.
Well,
Halloween
we
Day.
appreciate
should be
y'all
fun.
letting us come.
All right, the Halloween parade on Halloween, which is
Halloween.
what,
4:30.
Thursday week.
Yes,
All right,
the 31st.
The 31st, and the parade starts at what time?
4:30.
4:30.
4:30, and you ride there at Jesup Insurance Company there at the
Right.
intersection of Cherry and Macon Street. You line up there, you get your number, and then you go straight down. You march parade
Cherry
down
Street.
Cherry Street to
To Broad Street.
To Broad
and take
Street.
a right.
Okay, take a right. Yeah, right.
And the police love it because they always get candy too.
They've been so good to us over all these years
All these years
on there.
Yep,
And
yep.
I want to do one more plug for Women's Club if we've got a second.
Oh, we got plenty of time. Plenty of time.
The club itself likes to participate with other organizations. And right now, one that's dear to a lot of our members is this band trip that they're going on this spring. And
The Wayne County High School
the
Band?
Wayne County High School
They're
Band.
going on a trip this spring.
They're going on a trip,
Going to New York.
going up to New
New York City?
Absolutely. Well, things is a lot more expensive in New York City.
A lot more.
So this storm that we had, Helene, kind of messed up some of the funding. And I know Women's Club is giving them a nice donation as a club, but we would just like any individuals out there who might feel inclined. They don't care how much, little or a lot,
It all adds up.
It all adds up. A lot of these kids had the money from their parents, and then Helene came through and tore up their houses and things, and they had to use that money. So they're really scrambling.
Oh,
Well,
wow.
and as we know, some of these kids, this is the only opportunity they will ever have to go to New York.
Right.
I know we've been on trips with our children when they were in school. We have kids in Wayne County who have never crossed the Altamaha River.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know,
wow.
It's sad.
Wow.
It's
Yeah.
sad.
Yeah.
But it's true.
But it's true.
Yeah, but this is an opportunity for
A lot
for
of them.
Wayne County,
And for what I
but
heard,
for these children.
And you remember saying how much you remember your trip in school to Washington.
Yeah.
Now, all these years later, it's still a good memory.
It's still a good memory.
And just
Yeah.
think of the memory that these kids can make on this trip to New York. So we hope funding gets there. I don't even have a band member, but
don't either.
I just think it's such a good project
Yeah.
for them, and the community needs to get behind it and get them on up to New York.
Yeah, I went up there in 7th grade when I was at Jeb Stewart Junior High School in Jacksonville in the mid-'60s, and it's still a great memory.
Yeah.
And so they need to make some of these memories too.
Okay.
And we know
Well,
everybody
and as
doesn't.
we know, some of the children, their parents can afford to send them.
Yeah.
But you've got a lot of children whose parents cannot.
And it's
those are the
expensive.
ones we need to be there for.
Right.
I think the
Well, it
band
sounds
is-
like we need to get the band directors in here and talk about this and
Yes.
start
Yeah.
doing a fundraiser for them.
Yeah.
So, Bob, get the band directors in here if you can.
They've already been in one time.
One time, but that was a while back.
Yeah. They've been raising
busy.
money.
That,
along
that
with
was a
it.
while back.
They're busy. They just went to Warner Robins for a competition. I
They
think.
did?
Yeah.
How'd they do?
They did well.
They
did
did
well?
really well.
Good.
Yeah.
I heard the Majorettes won first place overall. So
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Way to go, band and majorettes.
Absolutely.
We got some good kids in Wayne County.
Yeah.
Definitely do.
We do.
Yeah, they have competitions all the time because my sons were in band in Wayne County High School, and it was like we were going all after
Yeah.
even during football season, but especially after football season, it was competition here, performance there, all the time with the band.
Well, sometime the 1st of November, they're having a big competition here.
They do
because
that most every year.
They're asking for people who have four-wheelers and things like that to come and help haul. And
Yeah, well, we could have them in to talk about that
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
talk about,
Yeah.
do an extra fundraising for the band going to New York. And,
Yeah.
and they're going there to compete anything or
They're
play at a certain place.
playing-
Playing at Carnegie Hall.
Carnegie Hall, they're playing at
Yes,
Carnegie
right.
Hall, yeah.
And that's quite an honor.
They're
It's
very.
a huge honor.
That is
Yeah.
a huge honor.
Right.
Yeah.
So Wayne County needs to step forward and help the band get up there and
Yeah.
be Wayne County proud.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
That's good. In the meantime,
In the
we
meantime,
want to see them all at the Halloween parade.
Yes.
on 31st,
On the
Halloween.
31st.
People always
Yes.
call up and text, when's Halloween? When's trick-or-treating? Well, it's Halloween,
Halloween.
which would be the 31st. The
Yeah.
only time they ever change it in any city is when it's on a Sunday.
Right. Yeah.
But
And
Halloween
for the
is
last
on the
51
31st.
for the last 51 years, the Woman's Club has set the date for the city for Halloween.
Right.
We tell them when trick or treat's gonna be.
Right, which is Halloween.
That's right. That's right.
You
The
think they would know
31st.
that?
Just like Christmas is on the 25th.
Uh-huh.
But the only time is when it's on a Sunday. Other than that, it's always on the Halloween date, the 31st
Yes.
of October.
Right.
Yes.
All right, ladies,
Well,
good luck with
thank
the
y'all.
parade.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
All right.
Thank
And
you
you're
for-
welcome
oh,
to come. You
yeah.
can. I'll let you ride my broom with me.
Oh, okay. Thank you
She'll
very
push
much,
me
Edna.
off the back.
Thank you, Bob.
All right. 105.5 FM and Jesup, Big Dog Country Radio. We'll be back more of the world famous Butch and Bob show in a moment.
South Georgia weather.
Here's your WIFO forecast.
Good morning, everyone. Clear skies and cool temperatures to wake us up on this Monday morning. We're going to be sunny and very breezy through the afternoon. Highs will be in the mid-70s. Tonight, clear, not quite as cool. Lows, mid-60s. Tomorrow for Tuesday will be just a little bit warmer with sunshine. Wednesday, sunshine in upper 70s. By Thursday, we're back into the low 80s. I'm Georgia meteorologist Laura Huckabee in the GNN Weather Center.
When further treatment is no longer an option, hospice can provide services to manage symptoms and difficulties caused by illness. Emotional, psychosocial, and spiritual care, as well as support to the families and caregivers, are all part of hospice care. Hospice of South Georgia has been a part of the health community in Wayne and surrounding counties since 1998. The professional yet compassionate attention provided by our staff is unsurpassed. Widely supported by donations from the local population, Hospice of South Georgia is the local nonprofit nonprofit hospice in Wayne County. Our administrative office is located at 1625 Sunset Boulevard, and Hospice of South Georgia accepts anyone who meets hospice criteria, regardless of their ability to pay. Please call 912-588-0080 to speak with someone about hospice care. That was 912-588-0080. We are your hometown hospice, and we are here to serve you. Hospice of South Georgia, working to add life to your days.
Big Dog Country Radio, WIFO, 105.5 FM in Jesup. We continue on with the world-famous Butch and Bob show. And Bob, it was really sad news when we heard about that gangway falling into the water there at Sapelo Island. I mean, I've been on that island before, but they said that this new gangway, as they call it, was put in 2021, so it's only 3 years old. But apparently, it wasn't fastened very well.
Either that or had too much weight on it. I don't know.
I don't know.
So they had close to 40-some people on there.
40-something people. Yeah, that's a lot. I mean, you take a look at that. It's really not that big to have 40 people on there. But apparently, they've done this before for the last few years, and it hasn't. I don't know how many times it gets safety checks. There's people pointing fingers right now. It's the McIntosh commissioner's fault. It's the DNR fault. It's this fault. It's that fault. Everybody's pointing fingers. So you got to get the experts in there to determine what happened. But that's just sad news. And our thoughts and prayers go out to those 7 families. It's just, you're sitting there walking, getting ready for a great cultural day there on Sapelo Island, and then boom, it's a great tour there. If you've never been on it before, it's a historical and fun tour. But that was way back in the 80s when I went. So I don't know, or 90s. I can't remember which one. But it's just very sad news, and thoughts and prayers go out to that, and hopefully they can find out what the problem was and never let that happen again. But it's the mayor of Darien was saying the fact that they had more help than you could shake a stick at. All the communities around, everywhere, was just pouring in help to help the victims and their families, and it just shows you the heart that people have to help other people. Just very sad news there. I kept waiting to see either video or pictures of the whole visual aspect of it, but I've seen the gangway in the water, and I've seen the dock, and I've seen the boat area. But apparently, what they do is they get off the boat, they get on this gangplank, they go up to the loading area, and that piece there, I don't know how long it was, about 30, 20 feet, something like that, just couldn't support them. Mm-hmm. I mean, you've seen this at hotels quite a bit. People get a lot on mezzanine or, balcony or something like that, and you get too many people up there and the thing collapses. That's happened several times over the years. First time I've heard of something like this happening. Just very sad. It made national news all weekend. But let's get something a little more positive here. We were talking a little bit earlier about Georgia. You said Georgia's ranked second in the nation now, according to AP?
Right. Oregon 1, Georgia 2. But
Yeah.
how come they didn't put us number 1? When Texas,
Because Oregon hadn't lost a game yet. That's why,
it doesn't
Bob.
matter.
It does matter.
Who have they played? Ohio State.
Well, they beat Ohio State.
Who's Ohio State?
Who's Ohio State?
who they
Some of the
play?
best athletes in the country there.
Who have they played? They ain't
No,
that's all right. It's all going to be settled in the playoff system
it'll be all
anyway.
settled.
So, top 12 teams get in. So, it was just a nice win. I said.
Well, you got the biggest cocktail party in the nation coming up this weekend, right?
2 weeks away.
2 weeks away.
Yeah.
That's right. They have off the week
Georgia's
before.
off this weekend.
That's right.
Florida's
That's
off
their
this weekend.
next opponent.
Right.
What? Yeah, that's their next opponent. So Georgia has off this week and getting prepared
Saturday
for
in
Florida.
November, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Should be a good game. Florida getting a little bit better. I said Billy Napier trying to save his job. They beat Kentucky this past weekend. So some good ball games in the SEC. That Alabama-Tennessee game was a good game. But, watching that game, they keep saying what's the difference between a Nick Saban coach team and a Kevin DeBoer team is the silly penalties and the unsportsmanlike. I never saw an Alabama player under Nick Saban lose his composure and slap somebody. Get a
Mm-hmm.
you just never saw Saban's teams do that. They always had the discipline. They always had the smartness to not take the bait, but I saw it happen several times in that Alabama-Tennessee game. Those Tennessee players would bait the Alabama fan or Alabama player, and the Alabama player would retaliate and slap the guy upside the helmet, and there's the 15-yard penalty. It's always the second guy gets caught.
It's the second guy.
Right.
You got a guy in your face, your face, yelling at you, and your natural reaction is to back off and hit him away, and you get fined, or not fined, but penalized, where the other guy.
Smart. But watching Alabama, I never saw Alabama players do that. But Saturday, it just seemed to happen more than once, and I was like, yeah, that's the difference between Nick Saban coach teams and this guy.
And it's also the difference between the way things used to be and now with the NIL and the transfer portal. The head basketball coach at Virginia, who's won 3 national championships, he just this weekend decided that he was going to not. He had just signed a contract not that long ago to renew for another 3 years, but he decided he just can't do it. He cannot do what it is these days with the NIL, the transfer portal, that you got to continue to recruit the only guy you've already recruited. You get him in, he's playing, and then after the season, you got to recruit him again to keep him there so he doesn't go somewhere else, and then they get this money, and they think they don't have to pay attention to you. And so he just says, I guess like Nick Saban, I don't want to coach in this type of atmosphere. I can't coach this way.
They say you're going to see more and more of that too. These coaches,
the older ones,
just don't want to deal with it.
Just don't want to deal with it. It's going to be the younger group that comes up.
That's why Saban got out, that he just didn't want to deal with it either. So
that puts the players in control. It doesn't put the coaches in control. It puts the players in control, because if they don't like you at the end of the season, they're going to transfer somewhere else. Or they're going to say, I make a couple $1 million with NIL. Why do I need to pay attention to you? Or $1 million, or $500,000, or $100,000, or $50,000, whatever the case may be, according to how popular they are.
Well, the way Carson Beck played Saturday, he needs to turn his Lamborghini in for a Toyota, because he played like garbage Saturday. He was terrible. We won despite him Saturday. He played terrible. It was just a bad game for Carson Beck. Just awful.
That's what he should have. He should have 2 cars in his parking spots there. One's a Lamborghini. That's what he uses when he plays well, and then drive the little small car around when he's played bad. Yeah. Not whether they won or not. It's according to how he played. But who would have thought? Up just recently that a college football player would be driving a Lamborghini. I would not want to drive a Lamborghini in Athens. You drove in Athens, just like I have for several years when we were there. Those people up there, the students usually, drive nuts. In the roads that were supposed to be just a 2-lane, they made it into 4 lanes. So you're almost, your mirrors are almost touching. The lanes are so tight, and for a lot of those students up there, because I was there for 4 years, and then of course been up there several times since then. They see stop signs and traffic lights as, I'll pay attention, or I won't pay attention to it. Yeah, and so it's an adventure in driving in Athens, and I would not want to drive a Lamborghini in Athens.
I wonder where he parks that thing.
Yeah, where do you park it? Yeah.
Anyway, but they're all making money. All these players got a lot of money in their pocket these days. So it's just changed it's just changed college football. It's turned a lot of people off too. I talked to a lot of people that they don't watch it anymore because it's like profession. They don't like the fact that they're making all that money. So that it is what it is.
Well, the Supreme Court made their decision, and then you had the COVID hit, and so they said, okay, you can transfer, but now they've kept that transfer portal. And basically, the coaches don't have that much control over the players, the ones that don't want to be controlled. Let's put it that way.
It's still the wild, wild west. Everybody's doing their own thing. Nobody's controlling. Nobody's, there's no rhyme or reason who gets what. So whatever you can get. I said, they got plenty of money in Texas.
But have you ever seen any advertising that some of these players, they can't mention their university, or their college school, you've got it only, it's the players, their NIL. It's not the university's NIL, it's the players. And have you ever seen any of them in any advertising at all? Who's putting this money up? If it's NIL, name, image, and likeness. I don't know. Apparently, there's business guys out there that are forking out the money. and helping keep those players that are at those colleges. But you got, that much money in a person who's 18, 19, 20, 21 years old. Man, it's like being a rock star. You make all that money and look what happens to them, a lot of them. So you got to be careful when you put that much money that quickly into the hands of people who haven't even basically worked a full-time job anywhere and tried to build a career.
World Series is set for this Friday. Should be a good series.
Yep, the one that television wanted.
Yeah.
L.A. and New York.
Got two great stars, Aaron Judge and O'Shea Ohtani. I think the last time they played each other in the World Series was 1981. I think they said that last time.
Oh, wow. Has it been that long?
So the Dodgers and the Yankees. Should be a great series.
It'll be a great series. You said it starts Friday night?
Friday night in Los Angeles, Game 1.
Okay, Bob. Well, we're out of time. Anything else in your mind?
No, just have a good day.
Have a good day. All right, the world-famous Butch and Bob Show here on WIFO 105.5 FM in Jesup has been brought to you by the Service Department at GNS Auto Sales on North 1st Street in Jesup. Also brought to you by First Southern Bank, Murphy Builder Supply, and O.C. Welch Ford.